The March of Dimes has been an incredible organization. Starting over 75 years ago, in order to eradicate polio, they started the March of Dimes, the march that raised money for research and things that eventually eradicated polio from our country. And most organizations, when they achieve their goals, sort of disband, go home, pat each other on the back. Well, the March of Dimes did something really unique, and they said, well, our mission is really to make mothers and babies have the healthiest outcomes. And they've funded the research that's really made a huge difference in neonatology. So everything that we use in neonatology has been impacted by March of Dimes, and we couldn't be more grateful. There are some incredible scientists that are working on this problem, right from working out what initiates labor, to what causes infection-related preterm labor, to how we can measure clinically cervical ripening, to identify the women that can go into preterm labor, and then how to mend broken hearts. Those are the things that will drive improvement and make this goal of decreasing the rate of prematurity a reality.
I'm a basic scientist, and I'm committed to discovering new things and understanding how nature works. And along the way, we have discovered the genes that are involved in formation of the heart, and many of those same genes are mutated in children that have congenital heart disease. So the knowledge that has been gained from our research has a direct impact on the eventual treatment, prevention, and diagnosis of children with congenital heart disease.
At UT Southwestern, there are specific projects that are being conducted that look at the basic mechanisms of how preterm labor starts.
The focus in my laboratories is to understand how the cervix, which during pregnancy needs to remain closed to keep the baby in the proper environment, how that cervix remodels and opens to allow passage of a term fetus at the time of labor. My lab has focused on understanding the normal physiology because we have to understand what's normal before we can understand what goes wrong in preterm birth.
Ripening of the cervix too soon is a major cause of preterm birth, but we don't know why. Why would a cervix, which is designed to maintain the pregnancy for 9 months, fail and thereby lead to premature birth? So our research, which is funded by the March of Dimes, is designed to understand the mechanisms by which the cervix ripens too soon during pregnancy.
Initially, our research was involved with development of the fetal lung and production of surfactant, which it still is, but now we work on preterm birth and pregnancy and labor. What we discovered is that when the baby's lungs begin to make surfactant toward the end of pregnancy, the surfactant is secreted into the amniotic fluid, where components of surfactant activate immune cells that migrate from the amniotic fluid into the mother's uterus, causing an inflammatory response that culminates in labor.
So the research that the March of Dimes funds is very important in making sure that every baby is born to develop its full potential in life.
To me, it's extremely exciting to be part of this network here at UT Southwestern as part of the overall network that the March of Dimes has created.
The partnership between the March of Dimes and scientists here at UT Southwestern and throughout the country is extremely important, because without that additional funding, we would be extremely limited in our ability to do research in these areas. We also depend upon funding from the National Institutes of Health, but that funding has been limited and is becoming even more limited. So we are really indebted to the March of Dimes for all of the research that they have enabled us to do.
Thank you from all of us that are on the front lines taking care of babies, and all the researchers that benefit from the March of Dimes and their efforts. Thanks very much.